What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Kiwan, and I am back with another episode of Moesha Season 2, Episode 9, A Concerted Effort, Part 1. So, of course, this going to be a to be continued. So, the episode starts, Moesha narrates, she calls the radio station and tells them about Q. You know, the relationship issues that they're having. She actually ended up winning 4 tickets. Basically, the gist of it is she wanted Q to commit, but he doesn't want to commit. So we coming off the back of the last episode. So she ended up winning 4 tickets to the Mega Fest. Child. And they hung up. So the next caller was Kim. Kim said, tell Carol to forget about her man and not her friend so they can go to the concert. So she automatically knew it was Kim. So the episode actually starts, of course, in the morning in the kitchen. That's where all the episode starts. She walks into the kitchen and Miles calls her Carol because Miles was up listening to the radio and he overheard. And anybody can, if you know Moesha, you can detect her voice. So Flat Top come into the kitchen, kisses Moesha, and says that him and Dee have a surprise for her. And the surprise was he picked out a young man so she can go out with, so she could double date with him and Dee. And it's a blind date. Not only is it a double date, but it's a blind date that Flat Top approved of. Child, please. And she was like, well, I can't go because I won tickets to the concert. And so everybody know Hakeem walked in. He was like, basically, you think I can go with Carol to this concert? So they was like, who is Carol? That's what Dee kept asking. And she was like, Carol is a friend who won the tickets. So if Carol won the tickets, I won the tickets. Basically, she was telling them, I am Carol. I called in to ask Carol. And so Q, in the next scene, Q comes into the den and asks Moesha, man, why you put out our business? And she, and so then he sit down next to her and actually sweet talks her. And I just feel like the only reason you doing that is so you can get a ticket so you can go to the Mega Fest too. See how it benefits him? Because he sat there. Not only did he sit there, he literally sweet talked her. For all the stuff she had been asking of him, he did it in that moment. Because he knew if I get in her good graces, I'm gonna be one of her plus ones at this concert. User. Anyway, so they go pick up they go to pick up Q, and it was a limo ride. So not only did it came with 4 tickets, it came with a pass so she can go into the back, the backstage to meet the people, and it came with a limo ride. So they go pick Q up, and he got 4 more people with him. First of all, I really want y'all to know that this episode was so star-studded. So I'm going to tell y'all everybody who was in this episode, and that's going to be in the next episode. That's when I do the next episode, I'm going to tell y'all who was in that one. So Q picks up his cousins, and he gets in a car, and she was like, who is that? I'm so glad that your cousins are sending you off while you go to the concert, but that's not necessary. So he was like, no, I got to get them in the concert because they sing and they're really good and I'm their manager. So the 4 cousins, it's 112, and that's when they were really, really young. So they get in the limo, and she was like, well, how I'm going to get 4? Because first, it's 5 people trying to get in on a 4 ticket pass. Now you done added 4 more people, so we 9 trying to get into this damn Mega Fest. Like, Q ain't shit, okay? So he snuck them in a concert. Security was like, when they got into the building, it was another set of security, and it was like, where y'all tickets at? Well, what happened was when Moesha and them got in, they finagled their way so an extra person can get in, and then they passed the 4 tickets to 112. That's what I'm gonna call them, the cousins. And Yo-Yo was the security inside the building. And so keep in mind, the cousins had those tickets. So Moesha was like, well, I gotta go get my pass. So she left to go pick up her pass. Q, Hakeem, Niecy, and Kim got kicked out because they didn't have their tickets. The cousins had the tickets. And so they raised up their hand. They had the tickets and they got kicked out. So now they trying to get back into the concert. Okay? Child, that was stressful. So, Miles, we are introduced to Miles' new babysitter. Okay, so y'all know, keep in mind the double date that Moesha was supposed to go on with Flat Top and D. They end up going with she backed out, and Dale and somebody else actually went into her place. So Miles needed a babysitter. So Miles was like, I can watch myself, until his new babysitter came in. So his new babysitter came in, played by Nia Long. Y'all, when I tell you, it had a lot of people in this episode. And so Miles looked at her and was like, okay, don't rush home. See you later. All right, y'all. Y'all know we got to do it. Here we go. I'm sorry I lied, Martin. I just didn't want to go to Arizona. And so as soon as D and Flat Top closed that door, when I tell you that babysitter, Nia Long, was mean as fuck. She was hell on wheels. Okay? So when I tell you Miles didn't play with her, Miles did not play with her. So then we get Niecy said that some dude told her he was going to get her in the concert. So Niecy was like, he going to get us, me and Kim, in the concert, but not y'all. So they just dogged them out. They went to the door. The dude was gone. I don't know where this dude was at. So the ticket person who was taking the tickets at the door at this point was Adele Givens. Okay? And so they couldn't get in. So they was like, sister, please. So she was like, what was all this, sister, when my light bill needed to be paid? Okay? Don't come over here talking about no sister. You can't get in until you have a ticket. Okay? So Q run into one of his old hoes. Okay? That he ain't never called back. So one of his old hoes is played by Sanaa Lathan. When I tell y'all she looked good as a young woman, she looked good. And so she was like, me and my friend, we can get you in. So her friend was Lisa Leslie. And they had tickets. Lisa Leslie played herself. Because they was waiting for Cedric the Entertainer. I want to say somebody else. I forgot what other celebrity name they called. But, Sanaa, I don't know her name. I didn't know her name on here. But she was like one of Q's old chicks that he just stopped calling. And I would like to point out that Q was dating older women. Okay, because you could tell she was not a young woman, especially if you hanging out with Lisa Leslie. And Q is a junior in high school. Okay? Q got around. So they actually got Hakeem and Q in. And so Kim and Niecy was like, well, where y'all going? It was like, we don't know y'all. And they went in. Now, you and Moesha supposed to be, and you got homegirl saying, you don't call me no more, this and that. So Q telling her whatever he need to hear, whatever she need to hear so she can get in, so he can get in this concert. In the next scene, Moesha is in a VIP, and Q's cousins are still with Moesha at this point, and she was able to get them in. And y'all remember Adele, who used to do them MTV interviews and stuff. She interviewed Moesha and was like, so who is your person? Is it one of these or all 4 of these rebounds? So Moesha was like, no, these ain't no rebounds. She said, this my man cousins, and they know how to sing, so they trying to, get put on, get out there. So Idalis, I think that was her name. Idalis, I think it was Idalis. She was like, what if I told you can meet Russell Simmons? She was like, I'd be extremely grateful. So of course we see Russell Simmons. Russell Simmons is playing himself. And so Idalis was on MTV Live. So she was like, we need you to listen to these men right here, hear them out. And so he was like, I can't do that right now. So she was like, so you gonna do this on live on MTV? You gonna do this right now? So of course we about to hear them sing. But it's not gonna be this episode, it's gonna be next episode. So Kim and Niecy are still outside, right? So they go around to try to get in another way. Security back there was Tiny Listers. Y'all know Debo. Okay, rest in peace. And so this lady walked up. She was like, I'm trying to get in the concert. My son got my name on the list. Her name is Miss Shaw. And he was like, no, you're not on the list. Of course, Miss Shaw is played by Jo Marie Payton. Y'all know Harriet Winslow. Okay? So she yelling at security. She was like, if you can't let me in, I drove 2 hours to get in the concert, and you ain't got to let us in, and we leaving. And Kim and Niecy was like, well, what the hell? We trying to get in the concert. What you doing? Child. The man was going to let her in, I think, because he was having some sympathy for her. But Niecy and he wasn't letting them in. But the lady was like, they with me. And he was going to let all them in. But she was tripping, and she was like, I'm leaving. I don't know. So Q's cousins met Russell Simmons. Of course, I told you it was played by himself. And they're about to sing to him live on MTV. Moesha looks over to the door to see Q arm in arm with Sanaa. And this is where the episode ended. Because y'all know we on a to be continued. Okay? So the next time, I want to say, when the next time y'all gonna get Moesha from me? Because y'all know. Alright. So the next time y'all gonna get the to be continued from me is actually on Friday. I'm so sorry. But, let me just run this down. So Wednesday, tomorrow, I'm going to give y'all Next Gen NYC, RHO Miami, Somebody's Son. Thursday, you'll get In Just Like That, BMF, in an episode of Divorce Sisters. Friday, you're going to get a new episode of Never Ever Met, an episode of Jenny in Georgia, 2 episodes of Moesha. That was Friday. Saturday, you're going to get 2 episodes of Family and Fiance, the new episode of Somebody's Son, 2 episodes of Moesha, Divorce Sisters, Jenny in Georgia. You're going to get all of that. Sunday, you're going to get 2 episodes of Moesha, RHOA, of course, that night, an episode of Divorce Sisters, and an episode of Jenny in Georgia. Between maybe Sunday, I may add in 2 additional episodes of Jenny in Georgia. That depends on how I'm feeling and how my day is going, and maybe another episode of Divorce Sisters. So again, I'm still trying to catch up from the weekend and add it in through the week, and by the end of Sunday I should be able to have a flowing schedule, coupled with the fact that I have to do my classwork, y'all. So I have to do that, which is always easy peasy, but I still, and not only that, I still have to get some sleep so I can get up for work in the morning, because I get up at 5 in the morning every day for work. Anyway, that's all I got on this episode, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.